Honestly UP, homegrown from grape to bottle.
That's the motto at the Threefold Vine Winery in Stevenson. Tonight, I'll take you behind the scenes of their operation for a closer look at what sets them apart. The husband-wife team running Threefold Vine and Winery are both fifth-generation Yoopers and farmers by trade. They moved into their new location in downtown Stevenson 4 years ago, and it's not your typical storefront. This building was a bank, but Threefold Vineyards chose this not just because of the location and its history in the community, but they have significant family ties to it as well.
My relatives have all touched those doors and walked through them, so that was one thing we told our kids. You know, this is one of the buildings that I can tell you that every one of your grandparents, great-grandparents, they all would have came through those doors.
And the Upper Michigan tradition shows in their product from start to finish, even though Andy tells me many people don't realize you can grow grapes here.
Yeah, we get cuttings that are dormant and in the wintertime, and we can get them started. But that was the actual cutting size of when we planted it. And then from there, of course, it grew from a bud and it started to develop a trunk. And then from there, we just put it on the trellis. And the Greens have a farm-to-table approach to making their product. The selection they have all depends on the crop that year, growing on 7 acres on their Nato Township farm. From the vineyard, the grapes are crushed and many wind up in these barrels beneath the storefront.
That's it. It forms a vacuum. You know, different oaks impart different flavors. You know, the American oak is different than the French oak, and you know, it's kind of neat. They get different toasts too. You get like a medium toast, a heavy roast, or a light roast, where the whiskey barrels are actually charred on the inside. It's just like charcoal.
Wendy Busey, a Chicago resident who visits relatives every summer in Stevenson, says her family is trying to convert her into a wine drinker.
I'm not a wine snob at all. I was told I was not a wine snob.
But she does enjoy her sweets and says the Threefold owners made her feel comfortable enough to try something new.
I'm a sweet girl, so I like Moscatos, and Andy helped me out a lot, picking all the ones that he thought I would like that didn't have a lot of alcohol tasting, and I fell in love with the perfection. It was great. It was super sweet and yummy.
The only real obstacle Andy says he and his wife have had to overcome is the lack of name recognition with UP grapes.
There's a few people that come in and they'll say they want a Merlot or they want a Cab. We always tell them we can't grow them here in the UP. And even if I could, I probably wouldn't, because there's a lot of good ones out there. I always like to grow things that are a little more unique.
Come here if you want to try some good wine and have a good time.
Now tomorrow we'll take you to the Northern Sun Vineyard, and that's in Bark River.
Between the breweries and the wineries, we've had some tough assignments over the last couple of weeks.
I know you and we had a rough sweeps period.
Well, just ahead